Joining us now from the Republican National Committee headquarters in Washington, D.C. is RNC Communications Director and Chief Strategist Sean Spicer. Sean, taking a look, here we are on Friday before Election Day, taking a look at all the data, everything you know right now about the race. Is Donald Trump now the favorite, or is he still the underdog?
I think he's still the underdog, but I think everything that we're seeing both nationally and in the states is trending his way, and that's a great place to be. You know, going into the last 4 days, I'd rather have the wind at our back and all the momentum with us than not.
Sean, tell us the most likely electoral college path is for Donald Trump right now, besides the Romney states minus North Carolina.
So Florida, Ohio, Iowa, North Carolina, I think there. And then I think we start to pick off. Colorado's down to dead even. Michigan's dead even. Those are my two top. But I think you look at right below the surface there and a close, you know, what would that be? Third is Virginia is in the mix. I think New Hampshire and Maine, too, I feel really good about. But I think, and that's sort of the story of this, which is that the map keeps expanding. And a lot more of these states are within the margin of error. And like I said, there's not one that's not trending in our direction. And when you look at where Hillary Clinton, the Democrats, are spending their time and their money, they're seeing the same data that we are, guys. I mean, they're in Colorado, they're in North Carolina, they're doubling down in a lot of these places because I think that they've started to see this map expand. I mean, Virginia, they pulled out. It's now within the margin of error. Colorado, they pulled out, margin of error. Michigan, dead even. New Hampshire, dead even. Over and over again, these guys got really cocky, pulled out, and then Donald Trump, in a message of change, is sort of blowing right into these solidly blue states in most cases, and in every case, states that Obama carried twice.
Sean, we've watched Trump over the course of the last few days. He's had messages that have ranged from sort of soaringly optimistic by his standards and his typically kind of negative attacks on Hillary Clinton. What are we going to see from him in the last 72 hours? Or is it going to be weighted more towards the positive, or is he going to spend most of his time still trying to take Hillary Clinton out?
I think it's a majority positive. He's just, you know, he's going to talk about the opportunity to change Washington and the change that he brings and the opportunities to make America great again. But I think he's going to make sure that he continues to let people understand that contrast and doesn't keep the foot on the gas on that aspect of it.
Sean, you and Chairman Priebus have come under some criticism from some Republicans who said you shouldn't have been so supportive of Donald Trump as he towards the nomination. Any regrets on your part or the chairman's part about the role you've played in helping Donald Trump since back in the spring?
No, zero. And I'll tell you why, because it's not our decision. And we made very clear that this is the voters. Donald Trump got more votes than any Republican seeking this office before. It is not our job. It is not anyone's job in Washington to second-guess that. And I think that's the reality of this. He bested 16 other candidates. He was the choice of millions and millions of Republican voters, and that's our job. That is fundamentally the job of the Republican National Committee, to support people who win the nomination in the Republican Party and make sure that they win, not to second-guess the voters, not to say Washington knows better. So we did that, and we have the best ground game and data operation that this party, frankly, either party has seen, and that's what's going to put us over the top on November 8th.
Sean, last question. You guys are getting some criticism. Rudy Giuliani is today for seeming to have been filled in or tipped off about FBI Director Comey's letter last Friday. Just tell us what you can tell us about the campaign, the extent to which the campaign had some idea that that letter was coming.
I'm fully unaware that anyone had any knowledge of that. So at least from my perspective and from the RNC perspective, I had no idea it was coming. But again, I think one of the things, John, that's important is all of the focus on the FBI and Director Comey and would he or could he. None of this would be happening if Hillary Clinton hadn't done what she did. She held a secret server. It was accessed by Anthony Weiner. I mean, none of those actions could have happened if it wasn't for her actions in the first place, for her cover-ups, for her repeated lies. Nothing would have happened if it wasn't for Hillary Clinton's actions over and over again, doing the things that she did to mislead the American people and cover things up.
All right. If we had more time, we'd spend a lot more time on this issue, Sean, and maybe we will before Election Day. Thank you for doing the show.